Hi, I'm John. I'm going to show you today some simple basic anchors to put into wallboard and plaster. This is just a piece of wallboard we can start with. There are different types of anchors. These are called toggle bolt anchors. These are strap toggles. These are called Molle bolts. These are just plastic anchors. These are drive anchors. And these are called wallboard anchors. So I'm just going to show you how each one works and how simple it really is to do. If you're doing something that requires a light duty application, you would use a plastic anchor. And what you do with a plastic anchor is you drill a hole according to the anchor, because they do come in different sizes. And the anchor just pushes into the hole and goes flush with that. And then you take your screw, excuse me, you take your screw and put it in there, hang your object, and you can just drill it right down. And what that does is that opens up and back and makes it tight, so it doesn't come out. That would be for a light duty application. Another application would be a Molle bolt like this, which actually opens up in back of the wallboard, just like these do. These come in different sizes, whether you're putting it into a hollow core door, which is very thin. This one would be for plaster, where it's thicker, and this one would be for wallboard. This is what they call a drive anchor, so you can actually just take a hammer and drive it in, or you can drill a hole and push it right into the wallboard. And once it's in the wallboard, you tighten the screw down, and what happens is you can see it starting to flare in the back. So that continues to flare till it's down tight. And once it's in there, you just back the screw out. Just back the screw right out. And the screw is really longer than it should be. But this piece stays in the wall, and you take your screw, mount it through what you're putting up onto the wall, and screw it back in. So that basically stays right there. The next type would be different type of toggle bolts, which would be for heavier applications. This one here happens to be a 3/16 toggle bolt. And what you do with that is you drill your hole and you lay these down and push it in, and when you push it through, it opens up and back. And then what you do is you just pull it towards you and you tighten it. Now this particular one, after you get it tight into the wall, is not going to stay there. It's going to, if you take the bolt out, the other piece is going to fall down in back of the wall. But what this does is it gives you a little bit more leeway on how to hang something. So if you're not spot on with the leveling, it'll give you a little adjustment there. The next type is, this is a newer one. This is what they call a strap toggle. And it's basically the same idea, but you just push this through the wallboard, and then this slides, so when it goes through and you slide it, it does that. You pull it up tight, and then you just wring this down, and you push it up tight, and that'll stay there. And what you do is you just break these off And you have your bolt that'll go in there, and that will hang something fairly heavy also. And then you have plastic anchors like these. And what these do is these fold down and they push in. You push it out flush. And then you take this pin and you push it in, and it flares the back of it like so. And then your screw will go in the front. And that one's tight. And that would be the same as your other one that was going to be, this is going to stay in the wall and there's no movement in it. So those are basically these. Now this one here is another type, which is really a very strong anchor. And what this does is you can drill a hole. You can start it in a hole like this, or you can just drill it right here. But you just take your drill with a Phillips bit and you just drive that into the wallboard like so. And then you would take your screw, hang what you're going to hang, put it in here, and just tighten it down. Now, and that just tightens down through. So this one doesn't spread like the other ones do, but it's a very strong anchor. Those are basically the different types of anchors. Again, if you know, they range in different strengths and the ease of application. So it would depend on what you're hanging and what it's going into. For instance, on these toggle bolts here, you can use those in drywall and you can use them in plaster. The strap toggle you can use in drywall and plaster also, and as you can with the Molle bolts. And this is another type here that I didn't show you. This is called a drive anchor, and this is a light application anchor. And what you do is you drill your hole and push this in, and then you would take a hammer and just drive that nail in. And what that does is it spreads it in the back, similar to these. So this type here would only be used in drywall. You couldn't use it in plaster. And this is just drywall also. So that's basically how you would hang something in a piece of drywall. There are also other anchors that you can use in masonry and concrete, which is a little bit more involved, but this is a complete anchor thing that you could use in drywall. Thank you very much.